A Job Psychology Guide. Chapter 1. A Workplace Psychology Guide. Psychology of Work/Work Psychology. Make your vocation your vacation. Basically what it comes down to is to find what you really love to do that can help someone. The money will come and you won't work a day in your life because it will all be fun. apahelpcenter.org/article/topic.php?ID=1, Psychology at Work, Help Center. Psychology of Workers. I believe in the essence of an individual and the essence of a situation. Everybody has an essence/soul about themselves. The self-respecting, energetic people generally make good workers because they have energy to burn and love to work it off. The mundane, average types will give you a mundane, average job for any of the reasons. Maybe they have this implicit standard within themselves of what they owe you, and once they reach that line, they don't give you any more effort. Some may be naturally lazy, have other problems which keep them from doing a good job, or could be holding a grudge against the boss and actually try to sabotage the business. One guy I know cuts it off at the front. He is the only one allowed to give out application forms. If someone comes looking for a job, the secretary tells them they have to see Dennis, the boss, so in the minute or two that he's giving out the application form, he simply takes a look at the person. He might make small talk and ask a question or two, but he usually makes his decisions without saying a word to the applicant. He's looking for somebody with self-respect who looks like a healthy specimen enjoying their lives without being trendy or showy about it. This is all he needs because he knows it rubs off on everything the individual does. When they hand him back the applications, he might hire them on the spot, or if he doesn't need anyone, put the note hire on the application and throw the applications of all the people he's not impressed by on site alone away. It's illegal to discriminate, so he lets them all fill out applications, but he makes his decision based on a momentary look. In the same way, you monitor your people at work. You can generally tell how bright-eyed and bushy-tailed versus how tired, stressed out and unmotivated someone is simply by looking at how they look and their general overall demeanor. The psychology of workers is that they will act the way you treat them. If you treat them well and expect good work, they will respond in kind. If you make personal attacks on them, they will shut off and turn on you. Positive breeds positive, negative breeds negative. We all live by moods and the problems that befall us beyond our control. Everybody will have low, tired moods and have times when some problem preoccupies them. When this happens to good workers, leave them in their own space. They're usually temporary and come around in a week or two. If workers are consistently tired, sluggish, sarcastic, negative, or under par, you have to first talk to them about their work performance. Don't get personal unless they volunteer information. If that doesn't work, give them a probationary period which they have to sign and know you'll be watching them and they must improve. If this doesn't work, give them a formal warning telling them they will be terminated if they don't shape up in the next 6 weeks. Make them sign it. If they don't shape up, terminate them legally. I'm of the belief that you need reasonably happy workers if the workplace is to be successful. I don't like sad sacks, lazy bums, big mouths or angry people. Granted, you have to give some leeway, but I believe that bad apples can poison the atmosphere in the workplace, so if I had a worker working for me whose attitude I didn't like, I wouldn't do anything illegal, I'd put him through the probation process. With all the people out there looking for work, you don't have to settle for a substandard employee. Get rid of them. Start over with new employees. The workplace is personal. There's no doubt about that. People spend a large part of their days with each other, so if they can't get along or have bad attitudes, who needs it? I understand that an employee making $10 an hour will not care as much about a job as the owner, but you have to make it personal, make them all feel as part of a team and be personable enough to the neutral ones so that they will some kind of loyalty to you. Don't just throw people into a job. Train them for it. Explain things. Pay them more as they increase their skills. People can't read minds and many workers are rather sheepish. They assume they should know what's going on, so they don't ask questions when they really should. When you assume, you make an ass out of me, and you assume me. Explain things to them. Always ask if they have questions. Tell them not to be afraid to ask regardless of how silly the question is, because you'd rather have somebody do it right than make a mistake later. Try to develop a dialogue. Explain the rationale as to why you want a job done. At the same time, ask them for their ideas on how a certain job could be done better. Tell them you might not act on their ideas, but you'll consider them, so encourage them to speak up. You're the boss. You can't just let employees do what they want. Bear down when you must in order to get your main priority jobs done. There are two basic types of rewards. Monetary, material reward. Stroke to the ego and self-respect of the person, compliments, employee of the month. Use both of these rewards when and as required. A promotion makes use of both the material reward and an ego stroke, which is why they work. Conversely, the way to punish bad performance is a demotion, a cut in pay, and criticism of work performance. Everybody will make mistakes. After it's done, it can't be changed, so don't lose your temper due to an honest mistake. Show them how to do it right, then they'll have no excuse. If they screw up on the same thing too many times, that's grounds for incompetence and termination. Don't be too hasty. Don't jump the gun and mistakenly lash out at good workers. Keep your mouth shut. Find out the truth before you unload your anger on someone. If something is not broken, don't fix it. If the workers are doing a good job, don't go in like a fifth wheel and ruin their peace. Leave good workers doing a good job alone. There are neurotic, anxiety-laden people who see the boss as a demagogue and are deathly afraid of them. Put these people at ease. Tell them to relax because it'll help them do their work better. Tell them you're just human like them and expect a competent job, and that's it. If you're a bad boss, you'll bring out the worst in your workers. First off, they'll hate you, you'll make them nervous such that quality of work suffers, and some will try to sabotage you, mostly by stealing things when you're not looking. Bad bosses who try to suck as much work as they can out of their employees usually end up shelling out more money because the animosity of the workers towards them cuts into everything the boss wants. If a worker performs poorly and you let it go without so much as a comment, you're enabling that person to get away with substandard work. Show them what the standard is and wait in the background to correct them if they fall below it. If there are business obstacles or problems beyond their control, talk to them about generating ideas on how to work around it. Everybody has certain limits as workers. Most workers develop a leisurely but productive flow if left on their own. If pushed, they'll screw the boss to get back at him. On high-volume days, good workers will know you need extra effort and deliver, but will expect you to take it easy on them during their down days. Nobody likes a boss always trying to suck his workers dry. Everyone has personal problems. Don't interfere unless they want to talk about it. Don't butt in unless it's affecting their work, then simply say you realize they have problems but they have to carry their load at work. Books about the psychology of workers or supervision of employees are at #658.302 or HF5549 at the library. Business psychology websites. APA.org, American Psychological Association, Industrial Psychology Section. TheaBP.org, Association of Business Psychology. BusinessPsych.blogspot.com. BusinessPsychologist.com. BusinessPsychologists.com. Business-psychology.com, professional training and development in business psychology for executives and psychologists. Chapter 2. Industrial psychology/organizational psychology/how to improve the way companies operate. Industrial organizational psychology info. I spent about 2 years in military leadership school studying a lot of this type of stuff about how to be effective in an organization. It's about the conflict between helping your workers versus being as efficient as possible. If you add to one, you usually take from the other. The way to solve it is to make the workers owners of the company. People are thinking and feeling human beings. If you try to micromanage them, they rebel. Refer to my job book about human resource management. Work psychology info. Many heads are better than one, but too many cooks spoil the broth. The regular psychology section at the library is at hashtag 150-159 at the library, the applied psychology books at number 158. You might find a few industrial psychology books in the business section at hashtag 650.1 or HF5548. Books about sociology are at hashtag 301.02373 or HM585 at the library. Books about the sociology of organizations are at hashtag 302.35 or HM131 at the library. As far as I can gather, industrial psychology comes down to worker happiness or lack of it and worker productivity or lack of it, and how to increase both in the workplace, worker happiness, and worker production. It all goes back to the old Frederick Taylor concept of scientific management versus the human relations approach. To what extent do you strive to make the workers productive and efficient without alienating them? Back in late 1800s, early 1900s, right around the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, factory owners saw the workers as machines that could and should be manipulated any way they could to save money and get the job done. They tried to instill time constraints for every function performed, limited bathroom breaks, had buildings without windows, tried to suck everything out of their workers that they could, not realizing that people aren't machines, they have emotions, they shut down, they have good and bad days, etc. Two major theories emerged about human behavior which were as different as night and day, so two major ideological movements were spawned as to how to treat workers. Theory X assumed that people are naturally lazy, want to do the least amount of work as possible. When the cat is away, the mice will play, they need somebody looking over them all the time and have to be pushed by a taskmaster, otherwise they will slack off. Theory Y assumes that people are naturally motivated to try to improve themselves, like to work, like to release positive energy to create things, and left to their own devices will find the inspiration within themselves to do productive, positive things because they want to. It's an inherent part of human nature. The Theory X guys treat workers like expendable slaves, the Theory Y guys treat them like hippie brothers. We're all united by the spirit of humanity. Do your own thing, as long as you feel like you're in motion, you're on the right track. In reality, there are a few extremists who are Theory X people and a few geniuses who are Theory Y people, but most of us are a bit of both. We will do our jobs, have some dedication and interest in them, but by and large, we're indifferent. A job is a job is a job. Very few of us feel massively inspired about what we do, but we understand that we have an implicit contract with our employer to give some effort, plus it's the right thing to do, so we do it, not because we're massively dedicated to our work and love it, but because we have do our dance to get our money. Anyway, this is what the field of industrial psychology, aka organizational behavior, is all about. How do you make workers enjoy their jobs and want to be more productive? In the old days, they found simple things to make the workers feel better, thus making them more productive, things like putting windows in the factory, putting a clock in, reducing the 6-day work week to 5, reducing a 10-hour day to an 8-hour day, etc. Nowadays, it comes down to empowering the individual by offering him a profit-sharing plan, giving him free soft drinks and snacks out of the company kitchen, putting a gym on premises, offering daycare, maternity leave, etc. All these things are nice, and my belief is that they work for average Joe to make him more productive and motivated, but in order to get real winners, you gotta find people who really love the work, it's something in their hearts and souls, and simply let them run with their inspiration, but these people are few and far between, so it comes down to offering carrots, empowering the workers, giving them some sense of control, in order to keep them productive and motivated. They got all kinds of stuff these days, like corporate workshops, corporate games, team events where workers help each other through hard physical challenges, then they bring in some supposed business bigshot or inspirational guru to give them a speech to fire them all up. At the other extreme, they've realized that if they've got a good employee already trained to do the job, Why get rid of him just because he's under stress, has a drinking problem or feels devastated by his divorce? They've instituted EAPS, employee assistance programs to counsel these people, help them through such that they heal, feel better and are more productive at work. Regardless of what you call it, industrial psychology, organizational behavior or worker empowerment, it all comes down to the same few cliches I've seen repeated over and over again. Get out of top-down management. Encourage a team approach. Interact, don't just act. Be a coach/mentor. Train your workers well. Try to keep the job interesting and challenging. Talk to your workers. Don't just assign a job. Explain the reason why it has to be done, show them how to do it. Have an open door policy. Share knowledge, experience, your needs, and problems. Encourage workers to contribute good ideas. Be honest and specific. Don't lie to workers. Tell your workers what's going on with the company. When you have a problem, tell them. Ask for ideas. Tell them to have patience. Encourage workers to develop ideas on how to better run the company. Quantity is only one thing, quality always counts. Workers have problems too. Give them leeway sometimes. If you know they have a personal problem like a divorce or something, ask them if they want to talk about it or need some time off. Show them you understand where they're coming from. Everything done in the company relates to everything else. If one guy has high standards, the others should feel like they should meet it. If another guy makes his piece of the widget shoddy, the entire widget is shoddy, so you have to get this team approach thing over to them. The boss needs help, the workers need help. Together, hopefully you do something great. Reward success with compliments, promotions, and money. Tell them when they screw up in a plain tone as opposed to a personal scolding one, so they do it right next time. If they keep screwing up despite your efforts at correction, fire them. Get feedback from customers on how to improve the business. Serve your customers. Do what they want. Never be satisfied with quality. Be like the Japanese, always trying to create a better product. Have clear goals, a clear mission statement posted on the wall and in the employee handbook. Let everyone speak before making major decisions in the company, even the workers or a worker's representative. Little goals and little gains sometimes accomplish more than trying for a big breakthrough. Organizational behavior/organizational psychology. Organizational behavior is the pseudoscience of maximizing the performance and efficiency of individuals and groups within an organization, primarily business organizations, to increase production output while keeping happy, motivated workers. It's a hybrid of psychology, sociology, and business principles, in my opinion, psychobabble, because the way to get good work out of your workers is to treat them well and try to work as a team with everybody on an equal level, no one superior. It's that simple. Basically, organizational behavior teaches you to think before you act. Use your natural intuition to analyze how people think, what their motivations are, and how you can relate to them. There are hundreds of psychology books at #150-159 at the library. Learn how to be a good administrator, leader, and how to solve your problems. Learn how the system works and play the game. Think before you act. Thoroughly analyze the situation first. Listen to people to gain insight. Who holds the power in the organization? Some of the topics are as follows. The classic conflict between efficiency versus human relations. Expectancy theory, employees work harder for rewards. Job satisfaction. The workspace. Job specialization. Job rotation. Job enlargement. Motivation. Leadership. Stress. Inter, within a group, and intra, between different groups, group behavior. Power conflict. Problem solving. Management leadership. Decision making. Organizational communication. Performance evaluations. Promotions. Raises. Resistance to change. Rewards. Organizational decisions and environments. The way organizations evolve. VCM leadership model, the vision, commitment, and management aspects of leadership. Books about organizational behavior are at hashtag 650.1, hashtag 658.4 and HD 58.7 at the library. It's a standard business course at college. Industrial Organizational Psychology list of career work issues. Abilities. Academic advising. Affirmative action. Age discrimination. Age discrimination in employment. Act of 1967, ADEA. Allport Vernon Lindsay Study of Values. American Counseling Association. American Psychological Association. Anticipatory socialization. Antisocial work behaviors. Apprenticeships. Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, ASFOB. Aspirations in Career Decisions. Assessment Centers. Assimilation and Mutual Acceptance. Bennett Mechanical Comprehension Test. Biculturalism. Big 5 Factors of Personality. Blue-collar workers. Boundaryless career. Bridge employment. Burnout. Business simulations. Butcher treatment planning. Inventory, BTPI. California Psychological Inventory. Campbell Interest and Skill Survey. Career. Career anchors. Career appraisal. Career as a calling. Career centers. Career change. Career coaching. Career construction theory. Career counseling. Career counseling competencies. Career decision-making styles. Career decision scale, CDs. Career development. Inventory. Career education. Career exploration. Career goal. Career indecision. Career interruptions. Career intervention outcomes. Career investments. Career maturity. Career mobility. Career motivation. Career planning workshops. Career plateau. Career salience. Career satisfaction. Career strategy. Career success. Career thoughts inventory. Career transition. Careers and health. Center for Creative Leadership. Child care practices. Churning of jobs. Circumscription and compromise. Civil Rights Act of 1964. Civil Rights Act of 1991. Cognitive differentiation grid. Cognitive information processing. In career counseling. Collective bargaining. College student career development. Comparable worth. Compensation. Computer-based career support. Systems. Contingent employment. Continuing professional. Education. Cooperative education. Copreneurship. Cross-training. Crossover effect. Crystallization of the vocational. Self-concept. Culture and careers. Customized careers. Derailment. Differential aptitude testing. Disability. Diversity in organizations. Domestic partner benefits. Downsizing. Early career stage. Early retirement. Elder care practices. Electronic employment screening. Emotional intelligence. Emotional labor. Employability. Employee assistance programs. Employee participation in. Organizational decision making. Employment advertising. Employment contracts. Employment at will doctrine. Empowerment. Entrepreneurship. Environment awareness. Equal employment opportunity. Commission, EEOC. Equal Pay Act. Erickson's theory of development. Ethics and careers. Executive coaching. Exit interview. Expatriate experience. Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA. Family and Medical Leave Act. FMLA. Family Background and Careers. Family Responsive Workplace Practices. Fast Track Career. Flexible Work Arrangements. Gender and Careers. General Aptitude Test Battery. GATB. Glass Ceiling. Globalization and Careers. Hall Occupational Orientation. Inventory. Handwriting Analysis in Hiring. History of Career Studies. Hollins. Theory of Vocational Choice. Hostile Working Environment. Human Capital. Human Resource Information Systems, HRIS. Human Resource Planning. Human Resource Support Systems. Identity. Impression Management. Individual Career Management. Industrial Revolution. Inequality. Informational Interview. Integrity Testing. Intelligence, Schooling, and Occupational Success. Interests. Internal Labor Markets. International Careers. Internet Career Assessment. Internet Recruitment. Internships. Job Challenge. Job Design. Job Fairs. Job Interviews. Job Involvement. Job Loss. Job Posting Programs. Job Rotation. Job Satisfaction. Job Search. Job Security. Job Sharing. Knowledge Work. Knowledge, Skills, and Abilities. KSAs. Cuter Career Assessments. Late Career Stage. Leadership Development. Learning Organization. Learning Styles. Leisure Interests. Lifestyle Inventory. Life Career Rainbow. Lifelong Learning. Lifestyle Preferences. Lockstep Career Progression. Locus of Control. Low-income workers and careers. Machiavellianism. Mentoring. Merit-based pay. Metaphors for careers. Middle career stage. Midlife crisis. Minnesota clerical test. Minnesota multiphasic personality. Inventory 2, MMPI 2. Minnesota theory of work. Adjustment. Morale. Motivation and career development. Multicultural organization. Multinational organization. Multiple intelligences. Myers-Briggs type indicator. National Career Development Association. National Labor Relations Act. NLRA. Needs. Nepotism. Networking. Obsolescence of knowledge and skills. Occupational choice. Occupational classification. Systems. Occupational commitment. Occupational information. Network, O*net. Occupational Outlook Handbook. Occupational prestige. Occupational professionalization. Occupational stereotypes. On-the-job training. Organizational career. Management. Organizational citizenship. Behavior. Organizational commitment. Organizational entry. Organizational image. Organizational justice. Organizational politics. Organizational socialization. Organizational staffing. Orientation. Outplacement. Outsourcing and offshoring. Part-time employment. Pay compression. Pay for performance reward. Systems. Performance appraisal and feedback. Person environment fit, PE fit. Personal globe inventory. Personality and careers. Personnel selection. Phased retirement. Positive organizational. Scholarship. Proactivity. Procedural justice. Protean career. Psychological contract. Pygmalion effect. Quality of work life, QWL. Racial discrimination. Rater errors in performance. Appraisal. Realistic recruitment. Recruitment. Redeployment. References for employment. Reinforcement theory. Religious discrimination. Resume. Retention programs. Retirement. Retraining. Reverse discrimination. Reverse mentoring. Rokiak Values Survey. Role models. Sabbaticals. School-to-work transition. Self-awareness. Self-concept. Self-directed search, SDS. Self-efficacy. Self-esteem. Self-leadership. Self-monitoring. Sex discrimination. Sexual harassment. Sexual orientation and careers. Single parents and careers. 16 personality. Questionnaire, 16PF. Social capital. Social cognitive career theory. Social constructionism. Social learning theory of career development. Socioeconomic status. Specialty choice. Spirituality and careers. Stanford Binet intelligence scale. Stereotyping of workers. Strategic human resource management, SHRM. Stress at work. Strong interest inventory. Succession planning. Supers career development theory. Sweatshop labor. Team-based work. Technology and careers. Telecommuting. Thematic apperception tests. TAT. 360-degree. 360 degrees, evaluation. Tokenism. Tolerance for ambiguity. Toxic leadership. Training and development. Tuition. Reimbursement. Turnover. Two-career relationships. Type A behavior pattern. Unbiased hiring systems. Underemployment. Unemployment. Values. Virtual expatriates. Vocational education. Vocational preference inventory. VPI. Vocational psychology. Wechsler intelligence scales. Welfare to work programs. Wellness and fitness programs. White-collar work. Wonderlic personnel test. Work ethic. Work values. Work values inventory. Work-family balance. Work-family conflict. Work-family enrichment. Work/life litigation. Workaholism. Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act of 1992, WARN. Workplace romance. Wrongful dismissal. Industrial and organizational psychology websites. Corporate-psychology.net. EAWOP.org, European Association of Work and Organizational Psychology. psychologytoday.com/topics/work.html. psychologywaop.nl/nindex.html, the Dutch Association of Researchers in the Field of Work and Organizational Psychology. Work.com. workingpsychology.com. work-psychology.co.uk. workpsychologyarena.com. workpsychologygroup.com. workpsychologypartnership.com. IO Psychology websites. SIOP.org, Society for Industrial/Organizational Psychology. SIOP.org/tip/tip.aspx, the Industrial Organizational Psychologist. SIOP.org/GTP, Graduate Training Programs in IO Psychology. ODnetwork.org, Organization Development Network. ODinstitute.org, the Organization Development Institute. SIOP.org/instruct/inguide.htm, an instructor's guide for introducing industrial organizational psychology. baddesigns.com/index.shtml, Bad Human Factors designs a scrapbook of illustrated examples of things that are hard to use because they do not follow human factors principles. iconcerteum.org, Consortium for Research on Emotional Intelligence in Organizations. hcibib.org, Human-Computer Interaction Bibliography. apa.org/science/workplace.html, Psychology in the Workplace. shrm.org, Society for Human Resource Management. siop.org, Society for Industrial and Organizational Psychology Incorporated. Professional I/O Societies and Networks. siop.org, Society for Industrial and Organizational Psychology. egosnet.org, European Group for Organizational Studies. iapsi.org/Division 1, Work and Organizational Psychology, Division 1 of the IAAP. piop.net, Professional I/O Psychologist Network. ucm.es/info/sciap/enop, European Network of Organizational Psychologists. Organizational Development Websites. This is usually a course and major in business school. odnetwork.org, Organization Development Network. solonline.org, Society for Organizational Learning. toolpack.com, Organizational Development Tool Pack. odinstitute.org, the Organization Development Institute. odportal.com, Organizational Development Portal. apqc.org, American Productivity and Quality. Teams and team building websites. irism.com/selfteam.htm, self-directed and self-managed teams. managementhelp.org/grp_skll/team/teams.htm, team building, extensive link library. teambuildinginc.com, links from Team Building Incorporated. virtualteams.com, virtual teams, for teamwork via the web. highperformanceteams.org, high-performance teams. Job analysis websites. deolata.gov/program/onet, o*net, the Occupational Information Network. harvey.sci.vt.edu, job analysis and personality research. ijoa.org, Institute for Job and Occupational Analysis. Training and Worker Development. trainingregistry.com, the Training Registry. sdsintl.com, Simulation Training Systems. astd.org, ASTD, Association for Workplace Learning and Performance. lifehack.org/article/your-individual-development-plan.html. HRM journals/organization journals. aom.pace.edu/amjnu, Academy of Management Journal. aom.pace.edu/amr, the Academy of Management Review. johnson.cornell.edu/publication/asq, Administrative Science Quarterly. associationdatabase.com/aws/ncdia/pt/sp/cd Quarterly, Career Development Quarterly. 10df.co.uk/journals/carfax/1366880.html, Community, Work, and Family. mngt.waikato.ac.nz/ejrod, Electronic Journal of Radical Organization Theory. 10df.co.uk/journals/title/1359432x.asp, European Journal of Work and Organizational Psychology. wiley.com/wiley-cda/wiley-title/product-cd-gwao.html, Gender, Work, and Organization. sagepub.co.uk/journals-proddesk.nav?prod_journal 200823, Group and Organization Management. 10df.co.uk/journals/title/136788868.asp, Human Resource Development International. ilr.cornell.edu/ilr Review, Industrial and Labor Relations Review. ripublication.com/ijcir.htm of Computational Intelligence Research. elsevier.com/wps/find/journal description.cws_home/505654/description. International Journal of Industrial Ergonomics. wiley.com/bw/journal.asp $1360-3736 of training and development. apa.org/pub/journal/apl, Journal of Applied Psychology. springerlink.com/content/104891, Journal of Business and Psychology. springerlink.com/content/105546, Journal of Career Development. emeraldinsight.com/info/journal/jmp/jmp.jsp, Journal of Managerial Psychology. onlineLibrary.wiley.com/journal/10.1111/%sign 28ISSN%sign 292044-83255, Journal of Occupational and Organizational Psychology. interscience.wiley.com/cgi-bin/jhome/4691, Journal of Organizational Behavior. emeraldinsight.com/info/journal/jochem/jochem.jsp, Journal of Organizational Change Management. emeraldinsight.com/info/journal/lodj/lodj.jsp, Leadership and Organization Development Journal. sagepub.co.uk/journals/proddesk.nav?prod_journal 201657, Organization Studies. elsevier.com/wps/find/journal description.cws_home/622929/description, Organizational Behavior and Human Decision Processes. orm.sagepub.com. Organizational Research Methods. personnelpsychology.com, Personnel Psychology. sgr.sagepub.com, Small Group Research. Industrial Psychology as a Career. siop.org/media/what.aspx, What are industrial organizational psychologists? shell.cas.usf.edu/p-spector/pursuing-io.html, Tips on Pursuing an IO Psychology Career. siop.org/tip/tip.aspx, The Industrial Organizational Psychologist. siop.org/gtp, Graduate Training Programs in IO Psychology. siop.org, Society for Industrial and Organizational Psychology. egosnet.org, European Group for Organizational Studies. iapsi.org/Division 1, Work and Organizational Psychology, Division 1 of the IAAP. piop.net, Professional IO Psychologist Network. ucm.es/info/ciap/enop, European Network of Organizational Psychologists.